Paranoid Radio, Fright there. Paranoid Radio.
Super. Yeah. You know, I've been telling him all day, like, I'm so nervous to go be on with these guys. Like, so fucking nervous.
You know, guys,
you started the show, and I looked at Chris, and I was like, fuck, I'm so nervous.
You guys are super high energy, and it's fucking awesome.
Yeah, we do. I like people tell me, "Oh, you're a fucking tweaker." Like, no, I'm a tweaker for life, bro. You don't even know, bro.
High on life, eh?
Kiss. Keep it simple, stupid.
Paranoid. Tell me, boy.
Testicles, 1, 2. Testicles, yeah. Yeah. We back. You know, the fucked up thing is that when we sing and we bring in like different melatonin sounds, we have the voice isolation on our mics. It doesn't make it through. So I would love for you, like, people to hear what you have to fucking sing about, and your vocal tones, you know, because you're such a great singer.
Right. Facts, my people. How you doing, big dog? How you doing today?
I'm doing good,
Shit, God damn.
Welcome back to Paranoid Radio Podcast. I am Trebles Garcia, your humble host, and joining me again on 1 to 2 is the the best co-host on the fucking planet, Big Tank. Salute.
salute, big dog. You already deal. It's once again with my partner in crime, Trebles and Big Tank, and we at it right here with the Paranoid Boys. As some people love to call us, I call us the lunatics. I call us everything in between. Looney Tunes ain't got shit on us. Space Jam should have been done by us, just like that, my people.
That is right. And talking about cartoons that have passed away, guys, we need to give you guys a quick little message. Unfortunately, everything, it comes to a change, and everything that goes up must come down, and everything that's born is basically fucked because it has to die. Guys, we have to announce the death of the randomizer machine. It's been glitching. It's been acting weird. It's been smoking out, was leaking. And this French version that fucking Big Tank brought in is ridiculous. It didn't last us not even a year. The transmission broke out, and now it doesn't go any fast. It doesn't go any slow. I think the gas pump also fucked up. We're fucked. We're fucked with the randomizer machine. We're going to have to dispose of it. Yeah?
I Jeffrey Dahmer that bitch.
Everybody, please give me 2 seconds of silence for the randomizer machine. We're going to remember it for the great sounds it used to make, for the way he used to control. It actually controlled the entire show. Now Big Tank has to do a lot more editing for some reason because he is in the 1s and 2s. But now we're going to have to use our laptops and a lot of the different stuff. The randomizing machine is a machine that used to control all the sounds, all the way that post-production, everything that the sound, that everything that the fucking show sounds like actually came out of the randomizing machine. Guys, it's now dead, and you will not be hearing from it again. Now, let's hold 2 seconds of silence.
Hallelujah, man. Fuck that bitch. On to bigger, better things.
That's right, Big Tank. Now we continue the show, and we're not going to be doing the randomizing machine or the listener of the week anymore. Unfortunately, that has passed. Paranoid Radio Podcast has outgrown that little segment, and the segment has fucking died. R.I.P. Yeah, R.I.P. Ooh, that's right. Now, guys, the reason we have you here, guys, all collectively listening to this amazing show is because Big Tank is going to tell you what is happening.
What is happening, my people? people, y'all know the deal. This is the best segment for the best show for the best listeners out there. And you guys know the deal. If you guys don't, I'm going to teach you guys. So what I do in this part is I'm going to give you guys 2 stories. And I want you guys' 2 cents. Let me know what you guys are feeling, what you guys are not feeling. If you're into it or if you're not. Because I'm going to take those 2 cents plus my 2 cents and I'm going to deposit that bitch into the bank of knowledge. Just like that.
Ooh, the bank of knowledge.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Don't y'all forget it. Don't y'all forget it. All right, my people. I got you guys 2 stories. Really good ones. Let me know what you guys are feeling. If you guys are not feeling, if you guys are. So, do you guys remember a couple years back? It's been, I think, about 2 years where we used to see those killer clowns outfits. Some even videos on YouTube resurfacing and everything.
I remember.
Okay. So, in a state out north, and I don't quote me if I'm right, but it's called Montana. So
Montana.
Yes.
Is it French Montana?
I don't know. Okay. I think it's American Montana.
Okay. Montana.
All right. Without any further ado, what ended up happening is that this kid came in as a clown. Okay, this was last year. It's barely making it my way, but I thought it was really historic because we are in the month of Halloween. And guess what ended up happening?
What?
So the kid came in as a killer clown. Pretty
Wait,
normal
school?
clown. Yes. Okay. He came in a killer clown. This was for a quote-unquote clown costume, but he was acting really erratic. So his idea was he wanted to mimic, obviously, a killer clown persona and didn't want to break his character. Per se. So he goes in there, he sits in another person's desk thinking that was that guy, and coincidentally that guy was missing. I mean, not missing, he just didn't show up that day. He was sick, whatever.
Get the fuck out.
So everybody was calling him by that name. He obviously, if you go to school, if you get barked at, then they're gonna call your mom or send her the message or whatever it is. So he's playing along this whole time. He thought it was extremely hilarious. So did I. And it wasn't until they received a note from the principal's office saying, from the attendance office saying that this kid was not supposed to be there. So they actually called the cops on the little kid for the same reason, that they thought that it was a complete imposter going right there. So when the cops arrived, believe it or not, they treated him as an adult. I'm pretty sure there was somewhere in middle school type of thing where he might have been bigger. And believe it or not, he got arrested. Big old thing came up. My people, what the fuck?
I never heard of this. This is actually a really good story. That's pretty funny, though.
It's fucking wild, though. I mean, can you imagine you're playing a trick, whatever it is? You thought the trick was going to be over right away because, as soon as the student gets an A, we'll get the fuck out of my chair or whatever it is. The kid doesn't show up. He plays along with it. He commits to his character. He's fully undevoted. And then they tell him, nah, big dog, it ain't going down like that. Cops get there because we have to admit the killer clown popping up was kind of scary.
Talk about trick or treat.
right. What do you think, big dog? What? I mean, you get a call like this saying that your kid's under arrest or being apprehended.
It's just too much of a coincidence how everything turned out. The other dude was missing. The kid sits on his desk. They fucking mark him absent. They call it. I'm sure they called the dads and moms. The fucking parents are telling him, no, my kid's at school. I took him myself. Yeah, and they don't know who the fuck is going. Yeah. But like, well, he's not here, man. You know what? Then fucking go crazy. Call the fucking firemen. Scramble the jets. And all the fucking, the Air Force comes down on the kid with the fucking nuclear bombs and shit. So yeah, it's just an unfortunate series of events for the little kid, and that's what you get for playing trick or treat hardcore.
To say the least, right?
I
mean, shit. On to story number 2, my people. On to story number 2. There are reportings of skinwalkers popping up everywhere right now.
Whoa.
So this goes down in Iowa, where it seems to be. I will find the video. I'll have Trebles uploaded. Where you see a snakish object, and I'm gonna go real loosely with that. A snakish object approaching, and then it turns into a cat as soon as it gets into full frame of the camera.
What the fuck?
It's quite a fucking trip, my people. I will upload it. I will send it to us. We'll have it posted. But I want you guys' opinion. We've all heard of skinwalkers. Something doesn't look normal. Something doesn't look right. I think there's even one where a point where a deer had his neck completely twisted upside down and it was running like nothing. I think I shared that one. There was another one recently of a cow that had and I'm gonna use this real lightly. Hopefully nobody gets offended or anything. But it looked like they had Down syndrome.
Mm-hmm.
But the owners are like, we don't know that cow. We don't know that cow. They're saying it on video. We don't know that cow. We don't know that cow. So, what do you guys think? Do you think skinwalker is actually a real thing?
Talk about scary, spooky stories. All your stories are spooky as fuck. And I'm gonna tell you something. I believe in skinwalkers. I come from Central America. Well, I don't come from Central America, but my mother and father are from Central America. And before I got adopted, my mom used to share stories with me where her grandmother she was a witch, like a hardcore witch, and she used to transform herself into a wild hog at night. So skinwalker, maybe not the same word, maybe it's just like a shapeshifter, whatever you want to call it, but same concept. A fucking skinwalker, yeah, like, you know. And that's not the only thing. There's a lot of, like in Mexico, in the southern parts of Mexico, there's areas where they actually come out, and they come out to play, and they're turned into owls, snakes, wolves.
Yes. That's something, especially around my parts where my family's from in Mexico. They are terrified of owls because they literally say that's a witch. Yeah. That is quote unquote a witch for sure, 110%. You see one even at night when they're supposed to be active, it's bad luck. I mean, obviously we've all heard you see them in the day, it's bad luck, but especially at night, they believe it 110%. Mm-hmm. I mean, so my people, what the fuck is going on in this world?
What is happening?
Are we seeing more? Exactly. Are we seeing more, or are we just catching up because now we got technology?
That's a good one. It might be always happening now. It's just a little more populated, more technologically advanced. Now we're actually recording and registering everything that's happening around us. That's also a good fucking. That's right. Big tank.
Alright, this was what is happening. You guys know the deal. Let me know if you guys were feeling it, if you guys not feeling it. If I scared you guys too much, if you guys want to hold my hand, let me know. On to your regular schedule broadcasting.
That is right, Big Tank. Thank you so much for those two amazing stories. As always, doing an amazing job. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we have an amazing episode for all of you guys today. We have a double dose of greatness. Guess what? And in celebration of the Fear Fest Extravaganza, a Paranoid Radio podcast, we had to bring a special guest. Actually, two special guests. Check this out. Right before anything, let's jump into the deep end of the pool and set the fucking mood. Arizona, home of the Rio Southwest and host of over 200 ghost towns. Some of the areas of the beautiful state, like Tombstone and Jerome, now serve as a huge tourist destination. But unlike any other places of the Old West, these once thriving towns hold some of the most twisted, dark historical events in the U.S. To help us digest some of these spooky stories and creepy events, like the phenomenon of a mysterious interdimensional portal that can alter time itself, we invited two special guests to rock your world inside out. They are the hosts and creative directors of their own podcast show called Smoke and Theories, and they dedicate their show to lifting the veil on cryptids, aliens, government corruption, and corporate scams. Please give a warm welcome to Alicia and Chris from Smoke and Theories podcast.
Hey guys, what's up?
What's going on?
What's up, fellas?
Salute. What's going on?
Ladies and gentlemen, these two guys have an amazing show. You could find them on Apple Podcasts.
Guy and girl, big dog. Guy and girl.
Oh, okay.
Come on, big dog. Come on. Where's your manners at, big dog? Come on.
Okay. I'm sorry. This guy and girl have an amazing show on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, guys. I would love for you guys to check them out. Now, Smoke and Theories, please let them know a little bit about yourselves for the listeners that do not know you.
What's up, friends? We are just a couple of regular people out here trying to give you some more information, knowledge. We think knowledge is freedom, so we're out here trying to give it away free to everyone. We've been doing this for about a year, I would say. And one night we were just sitting out on our porch watching satellites in the sky, talking about aliens. And I said, hey, why don't we start a podcast? Here we are.
That's beautiful. I think that's a perfect date. I wish my wife was down to watch satellites, but because of the freaking light pollution here in LA, we can barely see the stars.
Sure. For sure. It's crazy out
now.
there.
Guys, you could find them, Smoke and Theories podcast on Spotify and Google app, the Google Podcast and Apple Podcasts. Make sure you leave them a 5-star review. Check them out. Their last recent episode was based on recycling and plastic and the big scam that is. So make sure you check them out at Smoke and Theories. Now, guys, please take over the show and let me know what you guys want to talk about today.
All right. Well, we are going to talk to you about a portal deep in the southern Arizona desert that allows the dead to come into our time.
All right.
All right.
This is pretty spooky because we've had a couple demon shows about a couple serial killers, but never had a portal. Now, guys, elaborate. What's going on?
Hey, before we start, Trebles, can I hold your hand, big dog? I'm already getting scared.
Don't drop your panties, baby girl.
Hey, wipe the sweat off. Wipe the sweat off. Don't let him hold a clammy
Right.
hand, man.
I am a little nervous, guys. We've I think last year we did an episode on demons, and we didn't want to mention the demon's name. It's a demon that actually is involved in all the movies for the Nun and all that stuff. Poltergeist. You know how
that
they're all
one.
connected.
Fuck
And I
that.
didn't want to mention his name, but like we were recording. We don't record together, but we like heard disturbances in the audio, and it was spooky as fuck because I couldn't sleep that night, and he told me stop mentioning his fucking name, and so I know for a fact it could get really dangerous out here, poltergeisty, ghosty.
Hell yeah,
stuff.
it can. I'd have been scared too.
What's up with this interdimensional portal in Arizona? What's going on with that?
Interdimensional is right.
Right.
Okay, so we're not talking linear time. We're talking
Okay.
multiple dimensions. Okay. There's been everything from we've got Spanish conquistadors coming back through a portal that they've discovered down there.
Okay.
Not just conquistadors. We've had the old Spanish priests. Now, we're not just talking about people thinking they're seeing things.
Mm-hmm.
Or ghosts. It's not a ghost. It's not a spirit.
These are real time travelers?
Real time travelers. Footsteps y todo.
Yeah, people are finding footsteps out in the dirt after they see these people, or like horses. People hear horses out there at night galloping.
Mm-hmm.
And this is not a populated area. This is out in the desert. There's nothing out there. And to be able to see a person that people know is deceased walking around out there, and to be able to see footprints, like it's not possible it was somebody else's.
Yeah. What accounts have there been? Is there any registered accounts with any victims?
There used to be a mission down there, like a religious mission. And there were a bunch of people that were out there, and there was a priest that was out there with them, and the priest died. Now, all of the people in this mission used to give the priest their valuables to make sure that they didn't get stolen. Those valuables were never found.
Okay.
But they did see the priest after he died, walking around in the desert. And there were footprints, and everybody knew he was already dead.
And what year was this?
I don't remember. If I'm being honest, I don't remember exactly the year. But it was a while back. And so there were a lot of like tales of people who would go and be at a camp nearby the portal. There was
this kind of, it sounds to me kind of like, I'm not sorry to interrupt, but it sounds kind of like there's a lot of a presence, a negative energy, a negative entity in this area, and it sounds kind of like what that ranch, what's it called, ranch Big Tank, that ranch that it's in Utah, I believe. Skinwalker Ranch. Is it? Do you think is it near a burial? Is it near an ancestral indigenous burial, or
a ley line?
A ley line, perhaps, energetically wise?
Could quite possibly be a ley line. There's actually tales. There's actually a geode field. So you break the rocks open and there's crystals inside of the inside of the rocks.
What is that geofield? What's this?
It's actually surrounded by like a shitload of different geodes that are there.
Like the crystals, the rocks that you break open and they have the crystals inside. There's a whole field of them out there.
You know what I told you guys? I mean, what I have to bring up now, you brought these crystals up. Crystals are an energizer. They're a battery. They pull out frequency and energy, which is why a lot of Reiki healers use them. And depending on what you believe in, you have to get in tune with these crystals to get connected and also ward off from evil spirits. But I also found out through a friend of mine, his name is JB from the Fell Academy. He is now into the outside into space. Now he tells the story of the stars, and he told me there was one of his episodes he mentioned where there was an abductee, that somebody got abducted, and when he went up to the ship, inside of the alien ship didn't have technology. It had nothing but crystals. It was a crystal
Whoa.
ship inside the ship, so the crystals were powering the ship, and through the crystals they were using, kind of like Superman. You know how like Superman
Yeah.
has like the crystals in the ship, kind of like that.
Yeah.
So now I'm kind of connecting the dots here. If there's an energy field here and there's crystals there, there might be a portal that we're not seeing with our naked eye, because they're inside the rocks basically.
Well,
Right.
not only that, you have to remember the Grand Canyon is out in Arizona, and then you have to remember that they have found hieroglyphs. People have even said that there's some type of portal there that will take you to Africa. So I mean, is there
That
something going on?
freaking
Quite
theory is
possible.
retarded crazy. I have to look into that. There's a lot of people. Look, I'm a conspiracy theorist, but I have to look into the facts before I become a believer. That is crazy, because you're implying that there's a flat Earth, right?
You guys have to look into some of the conspiracy theories about the Grand Canyon. There's supposed to be an underground city.
What? Get the
Yeah,
fuck
not
out.
kidding.
Okay.
I'm not
Don't get
I'm
the
not
fuck
kidding.
out.
There's like artifacts in this underground city that look like they came from Egypt.
I've
Yes,
seen
exactly.
that. I've seen that stuff. Okay,
You
give me
gotta
more.
look into it, man.
Now you got
gotta
me
look
hooked.
into it. You gotta look into it. But really, like, there are a lot of people that are saying that the portals get their power from the crystals.
Okay.
I
Anything
can
else?
believe it.
Any
I can believe it.
relics? Any wars that happened in this area that we could, I think, that's significant damage or people's death? Because a lot of the people that die and they weren't, they're not accepted, or they couldn't travel to the beyond, they get stuck in this realm, and it
True.
can very well be that they're haunting. How do you guys know that these are actually time travelers? Is there anything significant that they did so that we could actually point it out and they could, the listeners could look it up?
Okay, so there was three Native American hunters, right? They're coming back from hunting,
Mhm.
and one day they stumble upon this arch, and they're just out screwing around. They had a good hunt, and they're screwing around, and they're chasing each other through the portal, and chasing each other around, chasing them through, and they chase one of the hunters through there, and he disappears. Done, gone.
Okay.
Immediately they take off running, and they go and they tell the medicine man, hey, so and so just disappeared. He went through this, and from like that point on, they didn't go around there and screw around there anymore. So I mean, it's
Is this
gotta
year
be,
to date, or is this a legend? Did this happen like
Like
recently?
many years ago.
long time ago.
So if we're looking into something a little bit more recently, there's a man named Ron Quinn who actually wrote a book. He's a treasure hunter. And they were treasure hunting out here. Now, like I said, this is very, very southern Arizona, and it's very close to the border. So they were out here treasure hunting, and this guy found this stone arch, and it is basically what he's calling the portal. So he's had firsthand experiences with it since 1956. He wrote an entire book about his experiences with it.
What's his name again? Sorry to interrupt. What's his name?
No, that's cool. His name is Ron Quinn. Quinn.
All right, we're gonna put that dude on the
Question.
description. Make sure they look.
Yeah, and so that
Is
way,
this place considered the doorway to the gods? Is that one of the names?
yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay, so I've actually touched base on this a couple times. A couple back in the early 2000s actually had privated a private airplane, and they actually quote to have traveled through time the opposite way, stating that they went to a future land. And
Yes.
this lasted about 5-10 minutes. They came back, and it's basically impossible because if you guys know anything about airplanes, everything's being tracked and monitored because most of them are rented or even not the FAA. It shows everything.
May I add
So-
something? You could also control them from the ground. That's not a lie. Look it up. Sorry, guys.
Oh no! So now that you bring it up, it just reminded me of all these stories about treasure hunting. About I should have realized it right away when you told me about the priest. There's been a lot of speculations, and I don't know if it lands on a ley line, or I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it's a direct connection because it is real southern Arizona. But to say the very least, it is something crazy going on down there.
Let me add something to that.
Go for
Sorry.
it.
Let me
Go
let me
for it.
tell you something. Well, I also found out that on top of people thinking that a lot of these stone structures are old old school freaking tools from giants, because that's also a big ass theory in Arizona. That I also know that if you're telling me that in this rural area in the middle of the desert is surrounded by a lot of gems, a lot of rocks. What you call them, Chris? You call them
They're the crystals.
the
Geodes.
crystals.
The
We
geodes.
call them geode.
Yeah, they're
Okay.
geodes.
So you have all these geodudes, all these little Pokemon out there, right? And they're surrounded by freaking by crystals. If you use a frequency tone to activate those crystals, you can very well have a portal to hell or a portal to the gods, which is what this guy Quinn was actually trying to do. What more information do you have on this guy? What did he find?
Like this dude has found like dead bodies, like skeletons. He's found crystals that like are there and then disappear the next time he's there, completely gone. He has been teleported from the hill that this stone is on to a completely different hill trying to get up there.
Okay.
There are stories
significant.
of like campers that have gone missing. There's one guy that used to go out there all the time, and I'm trying to remember. I think he was maybe a gold prospector. He used to go out there every single spring, and like the town that's closest to this place would see this guy every single spring. And one spring he came out and he disappeared. He left his horse behind. He left his campsite behind. He left everything behind. All the gold that he was prospecting was still there. He just
What?
vanished. They never found his body.
And there's a lot of silver and gold in Arizona. For the people that do not know, Arizona is freaking rich, and they have a volcano too. So this is Arizona. I think is a hotbed for UFOs, also, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
it
up
is.
near Phoenix.
The Phoenix experience.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
have to look up online if this was also native to, I mean, the home from Native Americans, because
It was,
believe
yeah.
it or not, so yeah, because a lot of the times what they do is they leave curses behind. There's a canyon here in California. You'll believe me, you'll be surprised. It's called Black Star Canyon. We did an episode last week on Fear Fest last year. We had a special guest on. He spoke. He actually went to this canyon, and same thing. He said that there's a weird energy, a weird presence there. Like there's a weird frequency, almost a negative feel. And at night, people actually can hear voices, and it's a haunted trail. The entire canyon is haunted, and so it's called Black Star Canyon. And there's also abductions. There's cow mutilations there, and there's even a freaking cave with the Illuminati symbol in there. So if
That's so scary.
and yeah, and Native Americans left a curse on this place because there was a lot of slaughters there and wars that happened during the Mexican War with the United States. And after the United States took over California, they slaughtered a lot of Indians here. So I'm saying Arizona was used to be part of Mexico. Maybe the whole like the wars that happened in Arizona, like they left that entity, that back energy there. And Native Americans don't go sleeping quiet. You know what they do? They fight to the death, and they're brutal, right? And then I'm not gonna say they're savages, but they follow no rule when it comes to war, and they could even probably curse the land.
Yeah, that's a possibility. We've noticed something happening recently. We were watching some things and we were doing some research. And so like one of the last times that Ron Quinn went out there was the time that he got transported to another hill, right? But we've been seeing that there are a lot of people that have been trying to get out there and find this portal again. There are people that have the coordinates, the GPS coordinates to find this portal. And they get out in the desert and time goes weird, and all of a sudden their whole day is gone and they haven't gotten there, or they get sick or they get hurt and they're unable to find the portal. So something is going on now where people are unable to get there even if they know where it's at.
The magnetic field, the frequencies getting fucked with big time. Do you remember?
Exactly.
Do you remember we talked about the Isle of Sahara tank?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Okay, it's the same thing. So basically, when the Isle of Sahara is allegedly when you can only see it from space, guys. Check this out. And allegedly, is where Atlantis didn't sink, but actually rose. And it was you could see the rings, and it looks like a huge eye in the Sahara Desert. So check this out. Allegedly, not allegedly, this is proven fact. You could go to this area of the desert, and when you're walking in there, right? You could use the instrument technology to get in there, compass, whatever. But once you're in the zone, all technology goes haywire. Time doesn't exist. And like it starts overlapping on itself. And you're walking in a circle, and you cannot ever, like even the dirt looks the same color. You cannot tell that you're in the eye of the Sahara until you're up in space. Hashtag look it up. Go on the fucking computer, look that up. It's a weird fucking spectacle. It's a phenomenon. And it's also a hotbed for aliens. Not aliens, UFOs, UAPs, whatever the fuck you want to call them. But it's fact. So this plays, to me, we used to talk about this a lot. the United States of America, at least the Washington D.C. is on not only a hotbed for UFOs, but it's also standing on mounds, and they're all connected in specific ley line connections to generate power and energy. Like the Washington Monument, it's exactly on a crossroad of two ley lines, which magnifies power. And at the tip of that Washington monument, there's an electrifying energy that's exploding all over the Washington D.C. This is why a lot of people do witchcraft here in the United States, and people might even go to say that some of the freaking elites, jumping into conspiracies, right? Some of the elites are also part of this cult and dark magic witchery, right? So, and I know I'm talking a lot, but check this out, guys. What if this place in this gate for the gods is actually another portal or an undercave system, to be more realistic?
Yeah, that's a possibility. But we also have another theory that Chris is going to tell you about that kind of links in. You guys know about the what is it called at CERN?
Yeah, it's a particle accelerator.
Yeah, the polar.
Yeah.
You guys know about that?
Yeah. It's in
Okay.
the Netherlands, I believe. It's in Europe. I know it's in Europe. They just turned it on right now recently.
Yep,
Switzerland.
they
They're
did.
rebooting that whole thing. So they think that they are actually smashing particles open to open portals to let demons in. There is a whole camp of people that believe that CERN is letting demons in.
Okay. So, and then this is one of the portals they're using to push them out?
Yeah.
Well, we're curious, like, since they're using this huge machine to open these portals and let demons come and walk the earth, like, can they be using that to open other portals all over the United States, all over the planet? It's so big, right? It's so massive. It's like, what did they say, 17 miles long or something, this
I believe so.
particle smasher is. Can they also be using that to open portals all over the world and let those demons out into whatever location they want to?
I don't know if you follow this, but the Bible and science kind of are predicting head to head with what's happening in the world, right? And you sit back and you're observing what's going on with the elites and what's happening in the different areas of the planet, even war and anything. And all the prophecies that the Bible has been talking about also has been proven through science that, for example, like the droughts and all this shit that's happening around the world, you know, the food shortages and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So I honestly believe that we are now living in the Revelations part of the Bible, and believe it or not, the Bible also states, and I'm not a religious person here, but I have to use the Bible to kind of like help push this theory. The Bible says that every, I believe, 1,000 years for humankind is like a day for God. So if God created the heavens and the earth in 7 days or 6 days, and the seventh day he took a day off because he needs a rest day. What year were we in? And we are now living in the Revelations portion of his, timeline, what God has in store for us. So opening the floodgates to evil entities to possess other humans, because honestly, they can't touch us. All they could do is influence us, right? That's what I believe in.
Right.
So if these spirits are coming out, evil entities are coming out, they're not only probably UFOs or any other demonic entities, but they're probably possessing people and influencing people in the area. I would love to know what villages or towns there's around this area, and then see on Google if there's any homicides, abducted people, cow mutilations, any other stories that could, concrete this portal in the middle of Arizona.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
So Arivaca's down there.
Mm-hmm.
There's a town called Ruby down there, and Ruby is a legit ghost town. Ruby is a legit ghost town. But now there's something else that you need to think about too. This is right on the border of Arizona and Mexico. There are a bunch of drug smugglers out there too. So murders could be associated with drug smuggling.
And then I did mention that we had some tunnel system here, and Chris even went,
Yep.
There might be a fucking tunnel system that we don't fucking know about. And the reason all of these, I want to say, things are happening is to wear away the people.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that.
Guys, thank you so much, guys. Smoking Theories. You guys have amazing content on your show, and I want to thank you so much for coming on our episode and dropping the hammer of the gods and speaking a little bit about those ghost towns that are happening. And again, go check out, guys. There's a website. I'm going to put it on the link of the description of this show, provided by Smoking Theories. Guys, you click into it, you can read a whole article. What's happening in this area of Arizona? Definitely a spooky story for our Halloween fest, and we're gonna definitely shout you guys out. Please let our listeners know where they can find you.
All right. You can pretty much find us everywhere. We are anywhere you get your podcast. So Spotify, Apple, Google, Samsung, iHeartRadio, everywhere. You can find us on YouTube. You can find us on Rumble. You can find us at our website, which is smokingtheories.com. You can find us on Instagram, and everywhere we are Smoke and Theories.
That's right. That's right. Thank you, Chris. And thank you, Alicia, for joining us. Smoking Theories, guys. Make sure you check them out. Big Tank, let them know where they can find you.
You guys know the deal. Go check us out at paranoidradio.com. We also have our Instagram. Go check us out if you guys want to catch that STD degree. That is that shit talking degree. Reach me personally at EKNAT626. Once again, EKNAT626. Till the next time, my people.
Big Tank, you and I are going to have to go and take a little camping trip up there and see what we can find up there, dude.
Nah, you trying to do Brokeback Mountain. I'm not down for that.
Guys, and you can find me at Trebles Garcia. Check us out at paranoidradio.com, paranoidradio.com, and you can find Smoking Theories. If you cannot find them anywhere else, I'll make sure to have their link up on our website under special guests and links.
Paranoid Radio.